Welcome back to the show, Drumheads, that you love the most. We love to have you, and here we are. We're going to give it a bash again.
Yeah, it's a fantastic day in Scotland. It's 23 degrees. There's people burning in the street, people getting stuck to tarmac. It's the first time we've seen really good weather all this week. So I've
Soak it
been
up,
enjoying that.
people.
Yeah, so enjoy. Well, it lasts. Well, it lasts.
Get out
Because
there.
next week it'll be snowing. So I put the sunglasses on to demonstrate that
That's
it's a
proof,
great day
eh?
outside.
That's
That's it.
proof. It's actually happening.
They're getting they're real.
You got
So what's been
sunburn, man.
happening? What have you been up to, Juice?
Yeah, so what's going on? I've been watching the socials a little bit, as you
All
always
right.
do. Yeah. Um,
Right.
have you seen it? It's the Whitney Houston challenge. You know about this?
I've not seen it, and I obviously want to know more. But
Okay.
I'll tell you what. Right, is this Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or what?
Oh, look, I'm not a big TikTok guy, but it's an Instagram thing. You'll see it on Instagram. All the drummers on Instagram are doing it,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And I don't know what the name of the song is.
Oh no! Wait a minute. I do know what you're talking about.
You know what it is.
Ah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, what
Right.
is
Okay.
that
Okay.
song, by
Okay.
the way? What's that
I will
called?
always love you by Whitney Houston.
Right. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to hear you say it.
I was tortured.
Thanks, man. It means a
Listen.
lot.
No, that's all right, man. I'm all right with that. It was
So
torture for me the first time round when it was in the charts and
yeah,
wouldn't go out the charts.
it's back.
And me at the time being a mad punk, right? It was like
Yes, I understand.
hated it,
But
absolutely hated
but
it.
now it's back, and it's back for drummers, right? And so
Get this.
so people are going around on Facebook and sorry, Instagram, and they're the whatever the part is with the trumpets and the violins, whatever, it cuts out,
And,
and there's like
and
however long that break is, however long. So I don't know what the count is, and you got to
surely somebody can just, surely
and
somebody can just, I mean, surely somebody can just count that. I mean, I'm not setting myself
what
up for
is
the
it?
challenge, innit?
What is
I'm
it?
not setting myself up for this.
What is the count? Because some people can get it. Now, I just shared one on my personal Instagram. If you don't follow it, go and check it out. It's Armin's Musica, right? Which is the Swedish army band or something, right? And all the drummers,
Right.
they're standing there like this, and then boom, and they just smash it, and precision,
Well,
music.
well, listen. So here's the thing, right? I could get it if. So the one I've seen is you just drag folk on a stage.
Yes, and
And then
they'll
they go
butcher it.
and they did right. And I could get that one where it's going to be if somebody dragged me on the stage and went, right, listen, we're going to play a bit of music. You know it's familiar. Hit the right spot.
Yeah,
Look, there's a good chance I'm going to miss it because I don't know the song that well. But I'm sure that if you sat and listened to the song maybe about 10 times and you're like that and clapped in, you would know the count.
I
Surely
think you might
it
just
can't be
add it
that.
there.
It can't be that mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like something for Tool or, do you know what I mean? Or some sort of prog rock band that really is kind of off its nut. Surely it's just, here's the 1, 2, 3, and surely.
I reckon it
Or
surely is one of those things that
am I
in theory it
oversimplifying
makes
this or something?
sense, right? But like, I
I,
don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, you're not getting asked to play XYZ by Neil Peart and Rush. Hey,
Well, then,
I don't know. I see. Like, the thing is I hate all these ice bucket challenge and all this kind of stuff. I'm
well, if you
like,
hate it, then
is
you
it
better
really?
if you think you got it, you better just show us how it's done then.
See, I knew
And
that.
it has
I
to be
knew that.
first take.
Well, listen, I knew that would be the blowback for this. I knew that would be because I'm like that.
Hundred
But
percent.
it's not. But it's not that. Is it that good a thing?
I mean, I haven't
I don't
figured it
know.
out, and I'm an awesome drummer. But I
Yeah, but
I know
yeah,
you haven't. I know you're starting to have a whinge about this, right? And I want to see you do it, and I want to see you get it right first time, and then
right.
we'll talk
That's
more.
a
All right?
challenge. That's a
Yeah.
challenge in between all the other stuff that I'm trying to do. Right. Honestly, it's like I'm probably one off either getting signed off into a mental institution because I went completely stark bonkers marac mental, right?
I had nothing to
Or
do with that.
it'll just be a heart attack, flatlined. He's not coming back for this. You know what I mean? So
And
have you got anything else in the social front?
look, yeah. So I do have to have a wee bit of a little. I have a little something to get off my chest.
Get off your chest. Get off your chest.
I
Don't bottle it up.
yeah. Look, I get that things happen in the music industry. People want you to promote things, and you gotta, people release singles now only instead of albums, and they do like these
Yeah, yeah.
pre-releases, and you got to sign up and all this stuff. I get it. It's the way things are done these days. But uh, the man Cam Barnes, right? He's
Yep.
great. He's got a set
Mhm.
of pipes on him that are not even bagpipes. His voice is beautiful.
I've actually had a pint with him. He's an alright
Yeah,
guy. Yeah.
mate, his voice is awesome.
Yeah, here it comes, but
But listen,
hey, listen, if you put your stuff out there, right, then
yes,
on you
yes,
go. What's your thoughts?
he's more than welcome to say I'm whatever I am, right? But like the thing is, I just it's reached me over here in Australia. I don't know what it's like in Scotland, but that
Right.
song Whiskey Roll is like on my feed all the time. The algorithm is just pouring it onto me,
I
and
think you should have called it haggis roll.
yeah, man. And he should have put a blast beat behind it, just because one thing I've got wrong is
Is
like
it country?
he's
Is it
promoting it
country?
as a country song, and I
Is it
just
country?
I love
Is it
country
country?
music.
I know you cut about with the Stetson and all that. You go to the rodeos, right? Is it country?
Yeah, I don't think it's country, man. And
So
the
what?
other thing is, he
How do you define country? I'm putting
put
you on. How do you
for
define it?
me,
Right.
put a lap steel in there. It's the ensemble that makes the country, right? Like
Ooh.
you
So that Beyonce song, remember everybody went mental about Beyonce getting like a country award?
was not
Is she
that
country?
that was an absolute butchery. That was not good.
See, I like that song.
Oh, you can like
I,
the song. No, no,
right,
no
listen.
worries.
Let me just tell you something. Right, I don't have a Beyonce album in my record collection. I know everybody's going to download that. My record collection. Right, but what I was going to say is if you're listening, my daughter, right, she's like kind of all this kind of Beyonce, Lord, and all these kind of female singers. I'm trying to think of the other ones, Ariana Grande and all that kind of things, right?
Lady Gugu.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Jaja.
Lady Gaga. I've been watching a lot of Matt Berry on the television, right? So I don't know if you get a show. It's called Toast of London,
I love that
right?
show.
And his intonation is insane. Oh,
Listen,
I keep saying to my wife, I says, I'd love to be able to do his accent. I'd love to do his part, right? And then when my daughter was on about Lady Gaga, I went, no, I think you mean it's Lady Gaga. Duran, Duran. Duran, Duran.
Listen, we're getting sidetracked here. My
No,
point
well,
is,
right,
right,
we're talking about the same thing.
if you have a song that is the chords are G, D, and A, right, it doesn't
Right,
make it a country song. And the other
right.
thing is like, I love that he's like, I'm doing a song and I'm putting bagpipes in it, and it's like kind of he's trying to put bagpipes in things. Mate,
Yeah.
do it with rock and roll. You know what I mean?
There is a famous one, AC/DC.
Yep.
That's a classic, isn't it?
There's another
Back in the
guy
trailer.
by the
The
name
actual
of
video is amazing for that, by the way. I think that's just dynamite.
yeah.
Oh, guys with the whiskers and all, playing the pipe. Absolutely fantastic.
There's another guy named Jimmy Barnes. Cammy Barnes may be related. Worth
No, I
reaching
don't
out.
know.
He lives in my state, right?
Right?
He's a piper. Maybe he's not the greatest
Right.
piper, but he chucks pipes in his tunes and he plays rock and roll, and it's we all froth it down here.
This is one of these other things, right? You know how you get like a piece of music, right, by someone that's a talented musician, right? But then you get a piece of music that you like that is with people that aren't very talented. I'll kind of give you a for instance, right? So some punk stuff that I like, obviously some of the actual capability of the musicians is average, which has been kind, right?
Yep,
Some of them
yep,
are good. Some of them are accomplished artists, accomplished musicians. Some of them are kind of average to be kind. But the vibe of the tune, or if it tickles you and it motivates you, then guess what? It's art. It's good.
That's exactly right. That's
So
exactly
you know what I
right.
mean?
It's
one of the weird ones, isn't it?
yeah,
It's like,
and also
this
what
Jimmy
else?
Barnes guy. This Jimmy Barnes guy isn't going to be a gold medalist, is he?
No.
Open gathering, there he is. I love lovely MSR by Jimmy Barnes. I don't think that's happening, but
There's no way. Yeah, but and I
it might be
mean the
kick-
the thing I'm going off about as well is that, and also another thing I hate, which is people saying that country isn't country, and I'm here doing it. Look at me. I've become the beast that I hate.
But listen, do you know what? In order to make things interesting, right?
Aye.
You can't just keep liking everything. Like, 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 like. You've got to surely. The whole point is somebody putting something on the plate in front of you. You've got to go, aye, it's all right, but because everybody's a critic. I bet you there's folk watching this show that now going like that. You know what? I'd love to just strangle the life out of that.
When they come to Glasgow, I'm gonna.
I get my hands in him. Right, and I'm like, well, fair enough.
Right.
That's what makes it a colourful tapestry of life. But I'll tell you another piper. Interesting one. Anthony Biggle. He's a piper.
True.
Again, he's not going to be playing at the Open Gathering, I don't think. I think he's over in the United Kingdom at the minute. I think he's down in Englandshire, down in London or something. But, aye, there's a guy that's obviously kind of talented and he's expressed himself and done his thing.
Yeah.
Pipers, real good pipers, would be like that. Thanks, Anthony, for coming, probably. You know what I mean? You're not getting a game, mate. What? You're not getting a game. But, the same point, he's doing his thing. I'm sure he's worried about what other people... This is another thing. See, once you do your thing, right?
Yeah.
So it goes for Cammy Barnes, right? He's selling crowded audiences.
He's obviously he's killing it.
People are paying to see him. Nobody's paying to see us.
Yeah.
Right? So we've got to... Well, you know what I mean? He's like that. Who? Oh, that podcast. What podcast?
Those guys.
Oh, that podcast?
Look, let's just put
the most unsuccessful podcast in the history of podcastery. That podcast. You're like, that podcast.
It's actually probably more like it's social media turning us against each other, right? It's social media just fueling me with this.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you one of the guys that you're trying to blame the television for violence and all that?
That's all.
It's individual, mate.
That's all I've got left.
It's the social media. It's a person. It's like cyberbullying. This was my advice to my kids, right? They're a bit older now, right? But when they were younger, and it was, cyberbullying. This thing, the old cyberbullying. I'm like, watch this. Phone on, phone off.
Oh, real world.
It's controversial, right? But see the guy that's cyberbullying you. He can't be cyberbullying you when the phone's off. Just delete. Cheers, bud. Bye.
Yeah.
Cheerio.
The best thing to do is just ignore
and if he's cyberbullying you or they're cyberbullying you, then obviously they'll not get the tenacity to actually be real bullies. So they're failed bullies.
Oh, couldn't even make it as a bully, mate.
No, the old days when I was at the school, you know what I mean? The bully, he'd be like, "Run here, give your dinner money. I want your dinner ticket off you." What? I want your dinner ticket off you. This is going to get messy.
You pay your dues. Out of respect, you pay. Yeah.
One million in my is he slap me about and then he takes it. I was like, "Off you." You're like, "Up your bloody nose," and I'll get you back, right? But at least he's got credentials to call himself a bully.
He worked for it.
He's worked for it. He's putting a graft in.
He's got the confidence.
Cyberbullies, they deserve to be put in a sack and slapped about. Come on. Anyway,
in a
before
web.
people start, listen, but it's only a bit of tongue in cheek. Oh, right, come on, take it as the gift it's in. Anyway, moving on. Big shout outs. Here's a big shout out, right? One word, Bill Tong.
Is that like a dude from Hong Kong or something?
No. It sounds like that. Hi, I'm John Biltong. You'd be like, all right, John Biltong. It's not John Biltong, by the way. It's a shout out to Craig Laurie because he still no messaged me back. Did he or did he not get me Biltong? Was it confiscated at the airport?
Has he returned?
Looked at it and went, what's this big slab of Biltong?
Well, I told you it's not coming back. If it's going to be that good and a South African Biltong, he ate it on the plane, 100%.
That's right.
And he has every right to.
No, does he weak? No. He's not got any right to. And so I'm going to text him after this. Once this comes out, I'll double check, right? So if we badmouth him the new about the Bilt, we'll call it the Biltong incident, right?
We'll have to pull it down.
And then we'll know if he watches it or no. So next time I see him, I'll be like, I watch the show. But no, you don't, because you'd have said something about the Biltong. Captured for that wee thing out there. Keep people on their toes, Jason.
That's how you get them.
I love the show. Do you really? What was the last thing we said? Any other shout outs before we move swiftly on? I hate the shout outs because I should actually write the names down because I half forget them, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah. If we do forget you,
But
you know you are.
there's shout outs and there's shout outs. We can't keep, we don't want to be Radio 2. Hey, this next, is it, or Clyde One? This next track's for you, Moira. And Clyde Bang, please. Have you moved? Show me a bit of movery. I want to believe this because somebody actually was talking to me during the week and I went, yeah, well, geez, there's a guy that we might get on the show. We'll talk about that later on in the show, right? But when I was talking to him, I says, well, we can't either now because Jason's moving, right? And he's moving flat. And obviously we can see there's a window out there. Obviously it's pitch black o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
But how did the move go?
Well, all the boxes are out. My missus basically, I'm just gonna give her credit. She did everything. We packed out everything. I basically just got like a whole laundry behind me here. Everything's a mess. I mean, I've tried to make it as best as I could.
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something, right?
Yeah.
Right. Your missus is loving this move.
Oh yeah.
You know, this is her chance to reinvent where you stay.
Our life.
So it's trips to IKEA. It's trips to all these shops that sell soft furnishings. There'll not be a lot of drum shops for you, mate.
The hardest thing that I've done, right, is just flog everything. Tomorrow, someone's coming to buy my keyboard off me, right? It's a Roland Juno DS88. I bought it for $1,200. I'm selling it for $800 tomorrow, and I'm like, it's just I have no room here.
That's why your missus picked that flat.
Nah,
that's why she's no daft, mate.
I got to give it a credit.
The drums have got to go. That keyboard's got to go. Your pals have got to go. Your Friday nights in the pub's got to go. We're going to IKEA. You're going to love it. Saturday morning, getting lost in that absolute rat maze that they call IKEA. I mean, just this is somebody fact check this, right? I'm sure that the guy that started IKEA, right, was actually a suspect individual. Was friendly with like kind of. I could only describe nefarious people for Germany, right?
Yeah,
I'm
sure and Henry Ford.
I'm sure he was one of the guys, and it shows. Yeah. It shows in his cold, horrendous type visit to the store.
These
apart from getting rewarded with your hot dog.
The hot dog.
You've got to wait. You've got to wait for that. You've got to go through the punishment.
You have the meatballs, and then you have the hot dog at the end, and then
that's to make you feel good about yourself.
Meatballs at the start, exactly. It keeps you going.
It's just
a man moves through IKEA on his stomach. That's the.
I'll tell you another thing about IKEA, right? That I actually go to the bit where there's things that have been already built, right?
Yes.
And you can pick them up.
Half price.
They might have like a chip in them or something like that, a score mark. And I'm like, I'm buying that.
Beauty.
Because if I buy the one that's flat packed, I'll smash all the windies, right? Fight with the veins, fall out with my wife, break the thing that I'm meant to buy and erect, right? So, default setting, get the one that's already built, or better still, phone up the guy that that builds the flat packs, and he does it. And you sit downstairs watching the Sweeney with a cup of tea, right?
That's
for the professionals. Another 1980s, 70s reference. But you sit and watch the programs, and he does all the graft.
Listen, I gotta stick up for my missus here because I came home one day after work, and there was my electric drum kit set up in the living room.
Well, that is an act of love.
So you know,
I tell you, she's a keeper. She's a keeper. Pass that on. She's a keeper.
That's why you can't listen to Andrew all the time, right? Like, she takes away some and gives me one back, and then I feel like I'm back in the lead.
There's only one thing that I could have said, right? She had your whole electric drum kit set up, right? But on the stool could have been sitting a nice cold bottle of beer.
Whoa.
That would have been the killer.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen. It was help me with the washing. It was help me fix this.
It doesn't matter. I'm sure it's all going to be good. So well done. You've moved in. Happy days. What's the neighbourhood like?
Studio.
You spoke to the neighbours yet? Any strange ones?
Loads of people from up north.
What do you mean up north and up north for Sydney or up north where?
Of England.
Is that?
Aye.
Honestly, like Geordie people and all that.
Literally,
literally
canny
bag of chura bunch
in my hallway, like I paid $1,000 to go. I
Oh,
don't know.
that's made a Manchurian accent, that, isn't it?
I think it was a bit like,
Mank.
yeah, like around that
Yeah.
area. Loads of them.
They'll probably be moaning it's too hot or something like that. That's too hot.
They were hogging the.
You move to go to the good weather. You get the good weather, and guess what? It's too hot. You know what I mean?
Just enjoy your 2 weeks. Enjoy your 2 weeks.
I would love a bit of rain now and again. You move to a country that's like a washing machine. So the move's done. That's good to know because there's no excuses now. So we're back onto the fortnight routine. Right?
We're on the horse.
I can sense a merch change. We're running low on merch. Not because people have been buying it, because I've been giving it away.
Promotional gear.
It's actually the actual idea of the merch was to sell merch and fund your flight, right? It gets better. But actually, not only are you to pocket, I'm a pocket because I've been posting it at £3.95 and the price of the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done on that business acumen, Andrew.
We can't say no to people either, like giving us the puppy dog eyes, like, please, can I have a shirt?
Oh, honestly, it's across the bear. Right. Band update. You interested in that?
That's what I want to hear about.
Really? You're in the band, so you do want to hear about it, don't you?
Well, I'm all the way down here in Australia, mate. I don't know what's going on over there. You could be saying anything.
We're not talking about you. I think you're back. We get together and we're all, what do you make of that Jason guy? I'm like,
yeah.
Listen, honestly, it's all front.
I bet his Swiss roughs are not even that good.
Don't buy into the kind of TV personality guy. He's not like that in real life. I had him there. Terrible, horrible person. Absolute.
I've never even actually heard him play drums, eh?
He's an absolute wretch. Horrible. He was horrible to kids as well. Hates kids.
He invented the term bankrupt.
He hates kids and animals. Hates them. That's you, son. Doesn't matter what you say after that. They've already got this idea in their head, right? This guy's evil. Right.
A lot of animals hate kids.
Exactly, aye. There's that dynamic as well, isn't there? People that love animals and hate children. I find that a bit odd as well.
Hey,
I think MD hates either of them. I'm kind of guarded about. I mean, I'm like, I love animals. Right? You're like, I don't hate either.
Yeah, you don't have to hate those things. There's other things to hate. Hey, listen.
Things to hate, aye.
I hate you getting sidetracked here, pal. We need to hear about the band.
Right, so this week has been a banging week, right? So Drum Score Veterans, you know that we're trying to get players. We've got 2 players for the bass and tenor section, right? One of them is, 2 of them are quite a big cheese, to be honest. So we've got them. And they've agreed and they're happy to come and do the Worlds with us. We've also got a drummer, and possibly 2 side drummers. One's a friend of mine's, Graham Brown, right? This is one of these guys, right? So I've known him for years, like 4 years, right? And he's been a very busy doing his thing. He's been living in Aberdeen recently, and he's got a full-on life. He's got young kids. Mega, mega, mega busy, right? We all know what that's, well, you don't, but I do. I know what that's like, right? You will do one day, right? And then you'll be like, I can't do the podcast anymore. Day because these are kids. Got to go to swimming on a Saturday morning and got to go to the rugby on a Thursday night. It's a nightmare, right? You just gee over your life. But so there's that guy, and he's got a lovely pair of hands, right? He has got a lovely pair of hands. And then there's another guy.
Sorry,
right?
You don't lose your hands after you have kids, right? Like you don't.
No, you don't lose your hands. I think you've either got lovely hands or you don't.
Right.
I know that sounds. I think we've discussed that before, but
yeah.
I mean, you know the 10,000 hours thing. I'm getting sidetracked again, but you know the 10,000 hours thing. Blah blah blah. You become competent at such.
Yep. Become genius.
True. That's true. But so versus me, I am not a natural drummer. I'm 54 this year, and I've came to the conclusion.
You weren't like born for it, kind of thing.
I wasn't born for it, mate. It's been an ordeal. It's been a trial.
You're not the Louis Armstrong of like.
No, people that go, Lairdy, beautiful hands, by the way, right?
You're just trying your best.
I'm not that guy. They're like Lairdy. Maybe let him play 6/8 or something like that. But
that's actually so well said. I think that's me too.
Wait, so listen,
I'm not going to stop though.
Doesn't mean we're bad people. Exactly.
Aye.
And that's what they hate. They hate the persistence. They're like, it's me again. They're like, I thought you took the hint. No, I'm back. It's like a guy you can't kick out. He keeps coming to visit you. You're like, oh, I'm busy tonight. Oh, sorry, I'll hang about. There's a coffee shop down the road. I'll be back in 2 hours. No, but I'm busy. So, back to this. So that's Graham Brown. We've also got another guy called Alan Campbell, who used to be the senior drum major of the piping school, senior drumming. And he's another guy who's got a lovely set of hands, right? So he's keen in the project, and Graham Brown's keen in the project. So that was two good, positive drummers that hopefully I've kind of convinced to come and play with the band, and then obviously the bass and tenor, and then that's been really good. However, so that was great news. Like the hot transfer market,
Mahusive.
You're like trying to. I feel like an agent trying to wrestle.
His last minute signings.
Mate, you're like, oh, come on, just say aye. Just say aye. I don't care. I don't care what your excuses is. Just say aye, right? So, that was good. That they're positive, and I think we'll see them at the World.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to guilt them now. Look, he's kind of said aye, right? So see if he's don't, right? That's on news.
And it was on the show. We mentioned on the show.
On the show, made a big hoo-ha about your names. It's on you now.
Everybody knows right? Now.
Everybody knows. The world knows. That guy said aye to them, and then all the word from him. In fact, then it becomes kind of like you go, he done it on purpose. He gave us false hope, led us up the mountain, and then just
that's cyberbullying.
That's cyberbullying. I'm running with it, right? That's the way I'm going, right? So then that's personnel, right? That's the personnel bit. So the other issue we had was funding and fundage and
money
and how to pay for things, and it's a big deal. And an MD that's involved in pipe bands or bands, I would imagine like brass bands and all that kind of thing, man. Yeah. It must be the same sort of thing. You know,
volunteer stuff.
Running costs and all the rest of the malarkey. However, I've just had a phone call yesterday with a guy, right, who's offered to sponsor the band. His organisation. He kind of represents an organisation. So he represents the Royal Regiment of Scotland. And he says that obviously the Royal Regiment of Scotland would like to be aligned with the Veterans Pipe Band, and they'd like to help sponsor us and like to help kind of facilitate us with stuff. And I said, that's good news. That's a wee bit of pressure off.
That's the
best
news.
I need to send him back a thank you letter. The guy's name's Freddie McNair, and I need to send him back a wee thank you letter saying, right, thanks very much, and then just clarify the points. But the points is kind of pretty much ironed out. We're kind of happy with where we are and what we expect for each other. So that's a good news story.
That is a
it's a massive story.
That's...
So I think the train's kind of moving relatively quickly now. It's kind of gathering momentum. It's really getting kind of real fast. I was actually tempted to maybe write into the Big Rab Show and say, look, listen, we've got a new band. Do you want to cover this?
Do you want to do a wee write-up on us?
Because was there no thing that they were saying that get to know the band?
I think it probably means like really big bands, not like little small bands like us.
You think? I think it's any band. Do you think he would run us? Do you think he'd follow us? Do you think he'd be interested in our stories?
I don't know. Maybe
you're sounding a bit kind of.
I think he's a pretty open-minded guy.
I think he'd probably say aye.
I think it would. It's an interesting story. It's a little mishmash of renegades.
We had the story of Pipes and Drums, yes. Which was probably one of the worst pictures I could have actually had on that. I'm still getting hate mail for that picture.
I think
I'm still getting hate mail. People are still challenging me for that picture, and I'm like, I feel as if I'm in something like what's that, Larry David, Cup My Enthusiasm.
I feel
as if I'm in one. I Let's have
You
him in
couldn't
one
do
of these
anything right
shows.
if you tried.
When I'm like, you just don't understand. You weren't there. Did they, I didn't pick the picture. I had nothing to do with it. That was a. It's
I
been
was
taken out
going
of
to the shop and
context.
it was cold and then it got warm. And
The sound check. I just had to put. Nobody cares. The only thing they're going to take away with that is, do you walk about wearing medals with civilian clothes? That's what they're going to. That's what people are taking away from that. I walk out the house at 9:30 in the morning on a Saturday
you don't get
morning.
it. I was in
I
America.
put on my, I put on my drum score t-shirt with the logo on one side and the medals on the other. People, stop. That's cyberbullying. In fact, you know what? The worst thing is people aren't even cyberbullying me. They're saying it face to face. They're actually phoning me up going, what do you think about? What was that about?
Yeah,
It's
what's
like,
this now?
it's
I've seen a
honestly like
picture on the news.
it's like an episode, mate. I'm like that. My wife's always getting on to me about things like this, right? And I'm like, these are things out with my control. It was like when I got into the rant car before. I got into somebody else's car, sat in the car, and then I looked left and I seen my family in the other car. But the cars were the same. To my justification, the cars were the same cars. I left my wife and kids in the car, right? I think it was a wee Fiesta at the time. Left my wife and the kids in the car, went to the shop, and I thought, when I walked back, there was obviously like my car, then another car, then this said car. And I looked at the car, and there was nobody in it. And I thought, oh, maybe they've walked out the car and went and looked at something else. So I got in this car, sat in, and I looked at the dashboard and I looked at it, and you know that way there's something telling you there's just something not quite right. And then I looked to my left, and I seen my wife banging on the window. Get that car!
No
That's not your
way.
car!
No way.
Again, there was no malice involved.
What?
But what I was thinking is, wasn't it fortunate that the guy that wasn't a big burly guy that came out the shop thinking, what are you doing in my car? You trying to steal? Do you know what I mean? That could have went totally.
Imagine he just gets in the car with your family and they just willingly drive off.
No, my wife would have probably let that happen. She'll leave him. Just leave him there. He's in idiocy.
That photo of you at the Carnegie Hall with the medals and the songs and that just happened to you. You had no choice in that.
Did they submit the picture to Pipes and Drums magazine? They decided to take that picture for Facebook or whatever. I thought I was listen, this is the other thing, right? So my own egos tripped me up, right? I thought it was being cool because it was Carnegie Hall, right? And I thought, oh, check me out. I'm wearing flip-flops and shorts in Carnegie Hall, so I'm cool, right? Not really focusing on the fact that I had the harness, and the harness, not the clothes, the harness had the medals on it. Look, that's it. We're not talking about this again, right? It's never to get discussed again, right?
Case closed.
So that's pretty much band update via
Nice.
a couple of
they're huge updates.
features.
These are
So
these are milestone updates.
I actually had a wee practice with one of the drummers today at my work.
Yep.
A guy called Paul McAtee's getting married.
Oh yes.
So congratulations, Paul.
Congrats, Paul.
So he's getting married next week, and he was in to see me for something else. And then he said, I'll bring my sticks and pad, made a wee rattle for the MSR.
Beauty.
Wasn't too bad. I'll give it maybe 7.5 out of 10.
Nice.
So just, so we're working it through that.
Jamming.
And that was good. However, obviously he's still serving.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously in his kind of capacity in his role and all that, he's going to maybe end up drum major at some point in his career, I'd imagine. Not immediately, but short doors.
Yep.
Which kind of gets me thinking.
What's that?
Right? Well, see if you're in a band, right? A pipe band, right?
Yep.
And you've got a pipe major, right?
Yes.
What does the pipe major do?
Well, he leads the pipe corps.
How does he lead the pipe corps, though? What does he do?
Well, he or she would they would issue the tunes and teach the tunes,
Yeah, yeah. Set the band up, that kind of thing.
ensure that the tunes are
Yeah,
of standard.
yeah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you could actually understand that they'd be called a pipe major because they're majoring in pipes,
Aye.
right? So that makes sense to me, right?
Yeah.
So a drum major, right? So somebody like Paul who can play the drums, to me, would be a drum major because he would be the guy who's responsible to the drum corps for their administration and playing and what they're playing and how they're playing, their
Mm-hmm.
tutorial, etc., etc. So he would be the drum major, right? And I can completely understand that.
Yep.
And then obviously, for ceremonial purposes, he'll be at the front of the band and he'll march about, da 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 da, right? But here's
Mm-hmm.
my question, right? See all the pipe majors, see all the drum majors that are out there in the rest of the world, right? That are drum majors. Surely, if you don't drum, how can you be called a drum major?
Are we making a differentiation here between like a civilian drum major and
Yeah, well, I mean, what I mean is, right? So what I'm trying to kind of get my head around, right? I'm trying to
yeah.
work this out, right? So you call him a drum major, and it's a guy that stands in front of the band with a stick
Yeah,
and
yeah,
walks
yeah,
about,
that's right,
right,
that's
right,
right.
right. So you've got pipe bands, right, and the drum corps got the leading drummer, right, and he's the guy that's in charge of the drum corps,
Yeah.
right. But really, in reality, right, he should be called the drum major, not the lead drummer, because he's majoring in drums. The guy at the front of the band with the stick, he should maybe be called the drill major or
Wow.
the walkie about major.
Yeah.
But he's not really the drum major
Yeah.
because he's nothing to do with the drum corps.
Now, explain this to me, right, as if I was a newbie, right? What why is it called a drum major, but they're not playing a drum?
Well, well,
What's the
because that's what
origin
I'm
of that?
saying.
What's the
No, but what I'm saying is so a drum major. So basically, if pipe bands are of origin of like kind of a military format, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it came from, right? So it's that idea. That's like kind of the military had a pipe band. It was like kind of this band, and obviously kind of pipe bands have kind of been hewed out of that.
Hmm.
And what I'm saying is that if you've got a drum major at the time, well, way back in the day, the drum major was in charge of whipping people, right? So
Oh,
he was like a big cheese. He'd walk about the battalion like the bad cop,
it was like a yardstick or something.
get guys. They would then be whatever their punishment was. So if it was like 50 lashes,
Yeah.
he'd be like that to his drummers. Get round there with the cat and nine tails and start whipping that guy's back, and I'll count out the time.
Oh, one,
That
two,
that was his
three.
that was his gig,
Oh,
guy. He was
wow.
he was keeping the time with the lashes that the guy was going to get, right? So obviously we've kind of progressed to a wee bit more of a kind of civilized society where we don't do that, right? So my point is that he was responsible for teaching the drummers. That was his job. He was like the integral part of teaching the drummers, and obviously he held this kind of totemistic role where he'd stand in front of the band and represent kind of that organisational
Man, yeah.
structure. He is the man, and obviously somewhat feared because that's
Yep,
what
yep.
his role is. So
Yes.
I kind of
Yeah.
disciplinarian, disher out of punishment type guy. So then jettison forward in time, we'll get focused on in front of the band and they go and buy kit. Oh, I'm going to go and buy kit for this people, not right. But my question is how are they called drum majors now? Because
If they're not
they're,
even playing
they're,
drums.
they're not playing drums.
My understanding when I
Would it not be better to call them like drill majors?
yeah. My
Because
understanding
all
when
that
I
was drill.
joined was that a drum major can play has played and can play all of the uh drums that are in a drum corps. So you're proficient with tenor, you're proficient with snare, and you're proficient with bass. Like you know
Well,
what you're talking about from the
well,
back up.
I just thought that maybe that would be. I don't know. It's just one of these things. It's obviously grown snakes and arms,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then you've got to ask yourself a question, right? So I understand that an organisation would want maybe a drum major to stand in front of the band, but I'm just saying that really in reality, there's that disconnect, isn't there? The thing is, as well, drum major. I don't know. Is it sell? What I mean is it selling short the lead drummer?
Yeah,
Should
right.
he
I
not be
get you.
called? Should he not be called the drum major, and the drum major guy that stands in front of the band called
The
the
drummer
drill major?
still actually sounds good, and it's
I
pretty.
mean, you know, what I
If
mean,
if you're
it's
talking
like
about how things have been modernized, maybe that's
I don't know. It's just I'm just trying to get it. I'm just trying to work out that what's the big thing, and then you've got the whole. I don't know. I just I'm trying to work. I'm trying to get into people's mindset. I'm trying to say, right, well, you're clearly not the drum major. You're not teaching drumming.
mm,
You stand in front of the band with a stick, right? March the band on and all, but you're not really. I mean, you don't really, surely, sit there with the core and go, oh, nah, I don't like that ending. You need to change that. Have a wee think about that. That doesn't fit.
yeah.
So
And
you don't do that.
it makes sense for a drum major to have done the to have been the lead drummer because you understand timing and you
And then
understand.
maybe he or she. So I mean, it doesn't really matter. What I'm saying is I mean, is it really a thing?
And
I mean,
some
I don't get it. I don't. I just don't. I'm not a big. I
so
mean,
when we talk about
I've been a drum
you've been a
major,
drum major, right?
right?
So
That's my point. I've been a drum major, right? So I've been a drum major, which has been practical as a drum major in all the jobs and all the things that I've done to be called the drum major, right? But what I'm asking is if I'm just a body and I go and get a mace and I practice what I'm doing with my mace, somewhat like, the drill movements on the mace
yeah,
and the flourishes and all that. But then where is the connect there between being a drum major and that? Because that's only really a wee bit of the job of being a drum major. So that the kind of wee bit is just standing in front of the band and marching the band on and doing a
yeah,
parade, and etc. etc. That's the wee bit. The big bit's all the stuff at the back that you do, that you admin,
the
that you
work,
do that.
yeah, the groundwork.
That makes you the drum major. You're the guy in charge.
Yes,
So the drum majors that a lot of bands have got, they're not in charge of that band.
it's a drill major role.
So is it not really a drill major? I don't know. Maybe we'll
It,
set hell on fire. Everybody be back. Oh, you
oh
haters and all.
yeah, do not say that.
Uh,
How dare you say?
I'm just asking
But
the question. Drill major. And
something
then
I something I was thinking about, like if you are a really good, snare drummer, and then you go and become drum major, do you ever stand at the front and you with the mace, like maybe in your time, like, and you just wish you were playing? Did you like?
100%,
Ah,
100%.
I
Any
knew it.
any drum, any real drummer that likes drumming,
I
right,
knew it.
and ends up being the drum major,
You're
they're
like,
standing there
ah.
going like that. Hurry up and get on with this. Let's get this gig on. And then you're back. And then you're back to the guys, and
I
you're
said
drumming.
90 BPM. Let's go.
You
Get
know what I
on
mean?
and up.
But so I'm just trying to work out this the drum major thing. Should it not be drill major? Should it not be the drill major competition? So when they're out there and they do their wee thing at the competitions where they grab a pipe band that's just played, and then they say, "Oh, good news, guys! You're going to play for the drum majors." You're like, "Well, the drill majors," and then
Hmm.
you go and you watch them do their wee bit of drill up and down. Like you know what I mean? They just go
Yeah.
do that, um, and then that's it. And then you come off, and then you're finished. Which I know everybody loves playing for the drum majors. They're like that. Great. We've just finished playing. We need to play for them. 6/8 or something. But here's the point. Should it not be the drum majors? That's all I'm saying. Because I'm not technically drum majors.
Unless you are technically a drum major, and then
And unless you are really a drum major. So Ewan Gordon, the guy I know, drum major Scottish Guards, he's a drum major. He's a drummer. He's got all the admin responsibility looking after the drum corps. He teaches them. He helps them. He's responsible for their administration. He's in charge. He's the drum major.
yeah.
But a guy going down the shop buying a mace at £100, stood in front of the band, is he really a drum major or is he a drill major?
And if you kill being a drill major, yeah, really good at that. Yeah, you can wear that with pride.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Killed it. Drill major. Check me out. Check my moves. Food for thought. Food for
hey,
thought.
something to think about. Wrap your
Next year,
laughing gear around that
the,
one.
the drill major championship.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
Maybe a new thing. We might be able. Listen, we might be able to copyright that. Call it a drill major.
Ooh, I like it. Get
You
one
know what
for
I
the
mean?
drum school. Hey, listen, Andrew, we've done a fair bit of rambling on this whole episode here, as we usually do. I think it might be time to bring it to a close and maybe it gives our drum heads some hope that they won't just
Well,
have to listen to only us in the future.
right, exactly right. So, actually, hopefully, I'm trying to think where we are in the month. We're kind of middle of the month, middle of the month of May. So, actually, I think the guy I'm interested in bringing on is a guy called Alan White. And for them that don't know Alan White, he's the guy that wrote the software for Drum Score Editor, the software program for writing drumming.
Our namesake.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he'll be like that. I'm taking you to court.
Oh,
Thanks for letting me on the show, by the way. The court actions of the post. No, he's really exist. Right,
I'm taking
so
you guys down.
I'm taking you down. So I was actually had a quick convo with him on the phone, right? And obviously not I'm not wanting to discuss too much because I want the guy on to tell us all about how his idea came and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's also involved in Flam 5.
Huge.
So he's quite a proactive guy. My big thing for him is I've been hearing a lot about AI recently, right? Do you think the day's coming where you just be like that? AI or Chat GBT, write me March for Spain Real,
Wow.
and it'll be like that, no bother.
More
And and
complex.
and and, and it might actually be like that. What kind of style do you want it?
Yeah, and you literally say imitate the style of
Of Stevie Crichton
permacrill and yeah,
or
yeah.
Chemical, or one of the big ones.
Oh no. We need to ask Alan. He'd be at the forefront of this, wouldn't
By the way, whilst I'm talking about people's names, I'd like to shout out to my wife's school, Falkirk High. Well, Larbert High School, part of Falkirk Schools.
he? Yep.
So there's a guy called Dan Brown. It's Stevie McWhirter, Dan Brown that are actually day with that. And I know for a fact, Dan Brown stood me up for a pint in New York, stood me up for a drink. So, Dan Brown, if you're listening to the show, by the way, you still owe me a pint.
He's not
Don't,
dropping
don't
it.
try and slink off into the background. He was like on the phone to I love the show and all that. I love the show. I was like, right, well, tell us you love the show when you buy me a pint. He's like, oh, can he? I'm like, what? I can't. He
Done
couldn't
that
because
on
he was
before.
obviously it was with a schools band. I get that.
Oh, okay.
I'll give him the excuse, right?
So it was legit.
But but he's been a bit shortcoming and coming forward. A bit kind of. You should have been like that when he get back from New York. Sorry about blowing you out for the pint, Lairdy, but I'll make good my promise. Station Bar, Glasgow, or something like that. I shall. I will furnish you with the said pint. That's my Matt Berry. That's my best Matt Berry.
I'm gonna chuck that on straight after this. Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout me a pint too. Eh? Well, maybe when I'm over there.
I know that's not how it works, Jase. You've
Oh,
got to do. You're going to have to do the legwork for the
I
pint.
thought no, I thought it was like a lump.
Have you
I thought
just?
he said he loves the
There'll be
show.
an
That's two
outrage.
of us.
No. There'll be an outrage of people out there, right? That are going like that. Wait a minute, right? Lairdy's just kind of blagged a pint off somebody, and Jason has just jumped on that. I make that too.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Make
That'd
that
be good.
too.
Yeah.
Make that too. Dan Brown, if you're listening, that's another thing. Dan
You know what
Brown,
to do.
right? Did I say Dan Brown? Right, is the guy I'm talking about, right? So Dan Brown, and that's another thing. He's got a name like a mad magician, Darren Brown.
Yeah,
I don't know if you.
I thought you were like, I thought you made a mistake.
And so when he was on the phone to me, I was like, right, if you're called Darren Brown, surely you'll be able to magic yourself to disappear for the school kids and get to the bar. Ta-da!
Turn water into lager.
Mr. Magicio. I like giving people names. So Dan
Yeah.
Brown to me is now Mr. Magicio. Mr. Magic. Right, listen. I think that's about enough. I've got things to prepare for. I'm meant to be going away this weekend.
Oh, good on you. I
Yeah.
might head off to the land of Nod myself.
Do you know what's quite good? I'm actually looking at our kind of visuals here, and I'm looking a wee bit more tanned than you.
Yeah.
I'm like as if I get the sun and all.
Yeah.
How's that feel, Jace? Eh? How's it feel? How's it feel knowing that we've got great weather here
This
now?
is so typical. 2
We
weeks.
don't. We don't
2
need.
weeks.
We don't need to hear that stories about Australia. Ah, it's roasting. Ah, it's roasting here.
You guys see
We're
the
in Jordan
sun and you
basking
think
in the
that
sun,
the
man.
world is ending.
Right, that's us.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Right, have a good time, drumheads.
Catch ya,
See you soon.
folks.
Catch ya.